Well, sometimes these things get involved, so I thought we'd come to our next guest, who is going to talk a bit about optical things.
All right, so first I want to thank you for inviting me and the Low Vision Service to be a part of this program. So what is low vision? It's a specialized area of eye care that manages the visual function when there's a deficit due to disease or disorder. And those diseases and disorders don't just easily, they're not corrected with glasses, contacts, medication, or even surgeries. So with low vision, we address the visual impairment, we don't manage the disease. And this is really important because even if you're able to find devices that are helping you to function in daily life, it's still imperative that you are following up with your specialist, with your medications, and all of the treatment plans that are in place. So low vision is technically a visual acuity of 20/70 or worse in the better seeing eye, but in the low vision service we do see plenty of people who have vision that is better than that, but that are still having difficulty functioning in daily life with these deficits. So our goal is to address and assess the vision that remains and to maximize the visual function that improves the quality of life. And it's also really important to us that we're meeting your goals so that we're addressing what you are really looking to have done and what we can do with that vision that remains. Two key words that are missing here are realistically and safely. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the low vision exam so that you can see how it's slightly different than some of the other exams that you may have been through at different parts of your life. So we do look at your medical history, your ocular history, all of the medications that you're taking. Oftentimes these can also be provided by charts and other exams that have been done, like with your specialist or recent treatments. We also have long conversations about your occupation, hobbies, other activities that you're doing throughout the day. And we want to know how those have changed with what you're doing now that your vision is not what it maybe used to be. So we look at your visual acuities. You see two charts that are here that are a little bit different than the standard Snellen chart that you might see when you walk into an eye doctor's office. So we're looking at what the current vision is with your glasses or without glasses. If you have an updated prescription, even if you feel that it's not working very well, bring that with you. It's important for us to see why it's not working or things that can be done, or we don't want to give you the same thing that you already have. So the nice thing about these charts that are down here is that we can change the lighting on them. We can move them to various distances and then measure what each eye is able to see. So on the left we have a distance vision chart, and then on the right we have a near vision chart. So then we move to the refraction. This is the test that is performed to determine the prescription that provides the best visual acuity in each eye. So we do this by showing you a variety of different lenses, and we find an endpoint that's going to give us the best prescription. This also becomes the starting point for any of the devices that we're going to talk about using later. So if you look here on the left, many of you probably cringe when you see this. You get behind here, you can't see anything. Everything looks the same. Am I answering this correctly? It can be very nerve-wracking for people. So we sometimes still use this in low vision, but more times than not, you'll see the trial frame. So with this, we're able to place this on your face just like a pair of glasses, and this provides a more natural environment. You can move your head a little bit more, so if there are various parts of the back of the eye that are seeing better, we can find that out with the trial frame. The other great thing about the trial frame is that we can present lenses that are of a greater noticeable difference. So if you look on the left, if I was asking you which was better, 1 or 2, it's pretty hard to tell. And if we go to the right, it's a little more obvious. So with those bigger changes, it's easier to get to a more accurate endpoint and something that's going to be more useful for you. So once we have the refraction and we have a good distance prescription, or the best distance prescription that we're going to be able to achieve, we can talk about glasses. The working distance with glasses is very important. So what is going to work at a far distance is not going to work when you're trying to read. It's also not going to be the best when you're at the computer. So all of these different areas require a different prescription. Sometimes we can put all of those prescriptions into one pair of glasses. Sometimes that's not going to be the safest or most effective way to be able to see to the best of your ability and to achieve those goals that we had talked about at the very beginning. So prism lenses are also an option. So prisms can be great if your eyes are having a hard time moving in certain directions. They can be great if you have some sort of field loss, and we can shift the image that's in that the area that's non-seeing into an area of seeing. So filter lenses can help to cut glare. They can improve contrast, and they also provide visual comfort. And there are a variety of filters. They've become pretty popular, and you'll even hear about them with, computer use and things like that. But filters can be really helpful. The other devices include telescopes, stand and handheld magnifiers, CCTV, and video magnifiers. And I have a few of those pictured here. So you can see the telescope in the first photo, both a stand and the handheld magnifier in the second photo, and then the CCTV in the one furthest to the right. The other thing about these video magnifiers is that oftentimes you can change the contrast, the size. They do have the smaller devices so that they're more portable. In addition to devices, there's also low vision rehabilitation. So this can be a really great option for people who are looking to respond and trying to adapt better to the visual deficits or any of the changes that are happening. So the idea is that we're reestablishing these visual motor skills to safely navigate through the environment and to complete these daily activities. So two of the photos that I have here, they're the Sanet Visual Integrator. The great thing about this, these are both touch screens, and then it also can show us your reaction time to these various quadrants in the screen. We can change a lot of the settings, the complexity of the tasks, so there's a whole variety of things that we can do, and then we track it on a weekly basis, or however often you're coming back for the rehab component of this. So this is the Edmonds rehabilitation system. So I'm part of the Edmonds group with the low vision service at Wills, and it's based off of the Quillman reading guide. But the idea with this, it's more for kind of central vision loss, and I know with glaucoma we're dealing more with peripheral loss, but there's no rule that says if you have one disease that you can't have others. So I still think it's really important to talk about some of the reading and central vision. So the idea with this is that you start by reading individual letters. You're training your brain in order to adjust left to right in a natural reading way, and then you move through these various levels so that you complete the end, which is over here, the more advanced settings on page 2. And there are a whole series of these that are done through the training program. Any questions?
Like the first part, I worked construction for like 25 years. I built commercial buildings. And I stopped maybe like 7 or 8 years ago. And I realized the difference in my vision. It's like we only go up to like 250 feet in buildings because I worked in D.C. and nothing can be built higher than the monument.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I said, I worked for 25 years. And when I stopped, I noticed my vision, how much it had changed. That's why I'm here. But you help me, I'm saying. You make me understand what's wrong.
Good. Thank you. Anything else? All right. Thank you.